Hello and welcome back to part three of Ren's Money Game trilogy. As we have been here on PopCulture Reacts, working our way through them for the last couple of days, and we have been loving what we've heard so far. So, are we expecting
I
something
don't I don't
outstanding for
know.
this last part?
I think it's kind of hard in my brain to think about how you top that. But then also in this small snippet that I have, I'm kind of expecting him to top that. I'm kind of expecting. I love that first one and the second one. I'm almost automatically predicated to going. This one's going to be the best one, and this one's going to be the one that absolutely blast it out of the water. And I can't tell you why, but I think my confidence builds every song that I'm hearing. So we said in that transition from one to two, love one into two, and you kind of go two built off of one, which you know said like you're more used to seeing sequels and trilogies in movies rather than the music traditionally. But this guy gets it, doesn't he? Like
Yeah.
great messaging, great ability, but also like in that visual part. And I think there's a lot of years between these songs, and whether he envisaged when he did the first one that there'd be a two and a three, I get the feeling that he doesn't come back to do a two or a three unless he's got something more to say in the message or he's got another creative step to it that really compels him rather
Yeah.
than cash grab. Like rather than playing the money game, I think he's doing this for a great creative purpose. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've built that up, haven't I? I think this one's going to be the best one by a mile.
Yeah, it said something I didn't say in the video for two is it seems like he obviously did the first one with the message and the thought that what money game is to him and that side of it, and he was like, "Oh, I've come back a year or so later and gone, oh, I should have gone on this angle or with this notion," which is why he then went back to it for two.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's it. I'm thinking is this where he's gone with this, where it's a case of I've got more to say that fits this narrative and time to bring out Money Game chorus again and put it in it.
Well, one of the things that we quite often do with the artists that we end up liking is we tend to go back to their beginnings, their early days, and we follow them through. And a part of that is a love of seeing the progression of an artist grow. So some of them, some artists smash it out of the park straight away and never reach that zenith again. But quite often, the ones that I think we really end up liking are ones where we see that growth. And we've transitioned over a few years, and bearing in mind, like putting into context Hi Ren as well. And I look at the amazing level of creativity in that, and I'm going, this is created post Hi Ren as well. So I'm going, yeah, I'm seeing you get better and better and better, and like staying with that similar message, but being able to tell that in a different way.
Yeah.
I, I hope I haven't overhyped something I haven't watched because the guy's amazing, and I think I'm ready to be shocked in a good way.
So, shall we get part three on?
Yeah, and also a little sneaky one of my. I've got an epic love of the piano, and I had the video up here seeing a piano keys. So I'm just going, well, it's going to be better. It's got a piano in it. Right. Let's do this.
tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns that truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket. 35, he gets the call. I'm sorry son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution? Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consume till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. "45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Well, I think in the next however long we talk about this, we will do our best to cover as much of that as we possibly can. But the first thing I want to say about it is when we watched Hi Ren at the time and subsequent listens, I felt like I had heard something special, and I mean truly special, not just I like this song, it's my favorite. Something special, something of a creative quality that is bereft in so many forms of entertainment, like really kind of transcendent. And when we got the video out and we got loads and loads of comments and going, look, like, this guy's good, he does good stuff, I didn't think though that I would hear anything that could reach that level. I thought everything would naturally have to be a degree under that, and I liked Money Game 1, I like Money Game 2, I think they're great. This was at that level again. This is amazing, absolutely amazing. Every facet of it is amazing for me.
Yeah, this, I wouldn't put it as high as Hi Ren, just on first listen anyway, because like Hi Ren just did something because of it being that internal personal story of mental health and disease and things like that, which hit me a little bit more and was very much a sort of fuck moment of wow. This is similarly oh fuck wow, but not as much. But just there is so much in this, and
yes.
It's everything from like those early years when you think, oh look, he's gonna turn into an MP or a member or Senate if they're American, or be running a business, or there's going to be something, because it's all like, oh look, he was starting as any child, going mine, I want walking, doing well in school, is clever, has something that they are good at, creating, obviously with this, we're creating the software and stuff. But you just see how quickly it goes to, but it's never good enough for your parents, or it's
Yeah.
never good enough for the world,
Oh,
and you want more,
arguably,
and you then start doing shit that is just fucking like just drugs,
what I say,
food.
like if you were going to be a dick, and like I'm sure there will be some people out there who try and be a dick about this song. They go, "Oh yeah, bore off." Like we've seen this story told in movies a million times. We've seen this thing, like oh yeah, like overachieving kid wants to impress their dad. They'd never dad's so happy with him. There's a reason why that story is told all the time, and that is a driver for so many people. And I think that's where this becomes. So we talked about the storytelling chops that were in Hi Ren, and we talked about like kind of the message chops that were in Money Game, but with still being able to tell it in a storytelling fashion, and same in Money Game too. That's why I kind of equate it to kind of the Hi Ren level of going. This is both of those things brought together. So the story is as important as the message, but the story's there to service the message, and the message is there to service the story, and that's such a smart thing to do. Like there are writers, directors, actors, ballet dancers who spend their whole careers trying to be able to deliver both of those things simultaneously, because it is so hard to do. And like I think I love the imagery that we said about Money Game, like video assisted this, but kind of those Reservoir Dogs kind of overtone. Like this is Scarface, this is Godfather, but this is
Yeah,
Scarface and Godfather told as if, like rather than it being Tony Montana, it's Hunter Biden, it's George
Trump.
Bush is this world. Yeah, it's the path that they went down to get power, and deviate slightly on some of them, although Hunter Biden, it might be pretty much spot on from the stuff you kind of read about him. But it's we said about in Money Game 2 this complicit bit, and I'm kind of focusing on maybe the first 3/4 of the song now, because obviously we get to the kind of the end bit where I guess we get like the worldview part of it. But you look at that, and it is that complicitness is still there, isn't it? It is here is a story that should be a warning. This is a story that actually should be something that you don't want to aspire to, but we know that actually it is thrust upon a lot of us as this is what you should aspire to. You should aspire to be the high performing kid who's a few steps ahead of the game, who monetizes that quite quickly, but doesn't sit on the laurels of that money that they've earned or do something positive with that money that earned. It's then about
making more,
the power, and then once you get the power, it's back to the money to get more power, and you flip flop in between those. And yeah, we said it in the other Money Game ones. This is stuff that people should know, and probably a lot of people do know, but it takes something special to make people think about it and not hide away from it, because that's what we do a lot of the time, isn't it? We want to hide away from this stuff because we don't want to think about the bad stuff that's going on around. And this is such a powerful piece to go and yeah, as I say, that functional form of going, he's 1, he's 2, he's 3, he's 4, he's 5. Such a clever way of telling that story, isn't it? Like I just that breathtaking lyrical delivery in the bulk of the story.
Yeah, and the use of like using obviously pianos in this one, and the cellos and stuff gave it that a bit more grandiose
Gravitas, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit more gravitas on it, and just this has been an evolving run of songs.
Yeah.
And, this does feel very final form of big, bold, grown up.
God knows what you'd have to do for a part 4 to top this. Challenge to Ren. No, like you said something about music. I mean, I said beforehand, seeing a piano, like over the last few years, I've got more and more my love for orchestral music has grown more and more and more and more and more, and hearing piano, hearing string music delivered in a certain way, I love it. And so it helped for me. It helped be doing something I like, but it has, as you say, that grandiose and that gravitas of what comes along with that. But it doesn't sit on its laurels with that, does it? It's transitioning all the way throughout, but also coming back to, at certain points, the Money Game string of music played on a piano. And so I'm loving all the piano work. I'm loving how the story evolves. You get fluctuations in what they're doing in a piano that reflects where the story's going. And to then culminate that twice with the strings, it's like chef's kiss on that. It really is. And I don't want to jump too far ahead to get to the video, but even those touches of when we move to the strings, and obviously it's when he's in the wheelchair and he's sat there and he does the countdown, and obviously in the second time they come in, he's there, like he's wet, he's got the gun, and he ushers it in by twirling his hand like, come on, play my music. And just a thing of wonder for me.
Yeah. So shall we discuss the video? Again, the boy knows how to visualize his music. This is another one that's, in a way, it's a very simple video. They're in one room, but it's not. It's complex. There's so much going on and so much in there.
I can't imagine how you conceive of it, let alone, and when I say conceive of it, conceive of how to do that in this one tracking shot. You know, like, I'll be honest, they're almost making it really hard for themselves, aren't they? You know, you could have done this in another way, a lot easier way. And I think what you see in this one, again, we've only done, this is our third video, but the fact that all of those elements, so when he's walking around the room, so walking through Jimmy's life, and there's certain set pieces for certain parts of it, but then when he moves around into another set piece, it's not like those bits have gone. You can still see them in the background. It's so smart. Like, you have Jimmy at the desk with the sack on his head still and things like that. I can't imagine. I know I forgot to do it on the first one. It's Samuel Perry Falvey is the director that he works with a lot. This one, Hi Ren and Money Game. I listen to anything that Ren does now. Also, sign me up for anything he does. Yeah. I will be looking up any other videos that he's been involved in. And my God, like, I'm not saying that music videos aren't the way, because certainly these are. This guy bangs out a TV show or a movie. I'm queuing up for it as well. Like, I think that creative, again, talk about storytelling. The video bits, like the bit where he spins the globe and the camera spins around. Like, it's such a small nugget, but it's so capturing. You know, like it keeps you kind of going in there, and you know, I just get lost in the creative genius where they go. He didn't just go, right, spin that globe. He went, well, we can do this then, and then we've flipped it because then the phone is going to ring because we've come out of the music for a little while. Yeah, just amazing.
Yeah, it's even at the beginning when Ren comes off the piano, and it was twirling. Then it's just like it's like little bits that are just like, ooh, there's so much depth and thought that's gone into every single part of this.
And because there's so much depth, I think sometimes it actually detracts us from talking about some of the more basic stuff. It's just really cool as well, isn't it? Like, those visuals, the sack head is just really compelling. That whole sequence where he just stands in front of a mirror and takes the sack off and removes the clearly cut noose that's around his neck, and you just go, I could watch that for hours. You don't actually have to do any music for this bit. If that was 10 minutes longer, I don't think I would have ever not been compelled by it. I could have waited for the song. We said it. I think I said it to you on Money Game 1. I'm really interested to listen to the album version of it, because there's a lot where there is pauses and gaps, and ambient noise, and I presume that's not there, and I do wonder whether ultimately I will like the video version more than I like the album version necessarily, because I think that adds. But of course, it would be weird having that without the visual cues. If it just went silent for 30 seconds, I go, do I need to go over there and turn the record over? Is the song finished? Just really, this is art, isn't it? This, and I know we've said this on certain other bits where people go, everything's art. Da, 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 da. I mean art that transcends any singular medium. This is the when a great painter paints a great picture. Yes, they've just painted a picture, but they've transcended their art form, and it will be remembered for hundreds of years. Well, I hope this is as well. I hope this is put up there on a pedestal, because I think it's that damn good. I really do.
Yeah, this, as we were saying before we started recording, is like I don't get how Ren isn't huge and how I hadn't come across him before. You know, bringing in Hi Ren,
and we know he's got a passionate fan base, but no matter how big his fan base is, it doesn't feel big enough, does it? Like,
no,
I think it was on Money Game Part 2 where you said I'd play this in schools.
Yeah,
with a bit of swears he's taken out, and of course he gets to the bit where he talks about, like, kind of, I guess, his worldview and how he thinks is the only way we could make any sort of sustained change. I'd play this in schools. As soon as I finish recording this, I'm sending this to my nieces and saying, you have to watch this. And I think they'll like it anyway, because they tend to like things like this. But yeah, I kind of want to share this with everyone I know who hasn't listened to it, and say, get on this. Like, it's the message somewhat stays the same throughout the three parts, doesn't it? It is about the woes, the evil, the greed, the capitalism, the power hungry, the stepping on the backs of most people to get there, and don't fall into that trap, because if you do, you might get there, but you're still stepping on the back of other people, and that's not really the way to live the life. Great imagery with that kind of concept about the Petri dish, and going, yes, you know, like for a small period of time, and you think in the lifespan of this planet, we've only been around for a small period of time, and the damage we've done to this planet in that very small period of time, it's such a great analogy, and yeah, that's, I think, what people need to start turning their head to, because we keep going the way we're going, and you and I have talked about this on other stuff. It almost doesn't matter for us, does it? Because let's be honest, we're dead and gone by the time this world is absolutely truly destroyed. But I do, even though I know that, I do wish that people would wish for more and wish for better. And I think, as hard as the messaging is here, I think that's almost the battle cry and the rallying cry here, isn't it? Of going, over these three songs, I've told you, I've given you a slice of what is going on in the world. In this one, I've probably given you the most relatable slice, because I've told it as a story about someone called Jimmy. And now at the end of it, if we don't do something about it,
we're all fucked.
This is what will happen to us. Gold medal.
Yeah. Yes.
Song of the year is going to be one hell of a battle this year for us, isn't it? Like, it's going to be really hard to pick it, and it not to be 5 Ren songs at this rate.
Especially because, you know, we have the rule of only one per artist.
Damn it! Oh, which, you know, God,
there's your fight. So
luckily I edit the videos, so I can just add in 5 Ren songs afterwards.
So down there, let us know what you think of Money Game 3, the trilogy as a whole.
And like, I love that trilogy as a whole. I think it's fantastic. I do think this is the best one though. And it's quite hard, because we've said it before, it's like picking your favourite out of 3 kids that you actually like or wanted. But this one is the best for me out of the 3. But I think it is assisted by 1 and 2. It progresses, and I think that's one of the things that allows it to be the best of the 3.
Yeah,
But yeah, really interested to see what other people think of the trilogy and how each song sort of stacks up, whether you have a favourite.
See, it is a cigarette paper between 2 and 3. As of right this second, on one listen of each, 2's taking it just because I'm, that really did speak, right to my little,
Yeah.
down with everythingness. But you ask me tomorrow, once I've listened to these while I've been at work, it's probably going to have changed. It's that sort of thing. I think these 3 as a whole, I mean, they're going to be a collective. But yeah, Dana, let us know what you lot think.
It's 2023, isn't it? So let's go with. I think, spoilers for my end of year. Now that people know that I can only have one, I think that this and Hi Ren are contenders for the best song I've heard in 10 years and probably more. I really do. But there's still plenty more to come as well, isn't there?
There is.
He's not just got 4 songs. He's got lots and lots and lots of songs, including a new album for us to react to in the near future.
So, as always, YouTube things, like, subscribe, and ring bells. Thank you to anyone who came
Money
to us
Game,
initially.
ring that bell so that we can become power mad and rather than fighting the cartel, we can fight each other.
So a thank you to everyone who came to us via Hi Ren. All the stuff that are in there. All the Ren stuff will be picked up and done at some point.
And I will get to all the comments. Apologies for some of the slovenliness on this, although hopefully by the time this comes out, it has. I will say, to a large part, it was because there was such an outpouring that it was hard to keep up. But also, I did have some quite bad internet issues for about 4.5 days where I could barely do anything. So that's put us a bit behind. But I think because we liked it so much, one of the reasons why we do this is for you and I to sit here and listen to songs and hopefully find songs we love. But it is to be able to talk to other people who also love those songs, and it's nice. We said we think this guy should have a bigger audience than he does, purely because I think everyone should listen to it. But it's also nice to talk to the audience he does have, because to a large part they're probably very like-minded people to us. Certainly at some of our core values, might not love all the same stuff, but yeah. So yeah, more comments. Happy to chat to you, and. If I was truly playing this money game better, I would never have an internet outage, because I'd have 85 fibre optic lines running into my house.
And never have to work, because you could just be on the internet all the time.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Work did take up some time as well.
Exactly.
Down with the man! Down with the capitalist pigs!
So, until next time, goodbye.